Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And you are finding me in a particularly splendid mood this fine morning. Well, morning for me. It's 11:23 in the AM for me here in sunny downtown Samaria, which is where I am. I'm actually in Samaria. Is it? No, Samaria. I'm definitely in the Shomron. That's where I reside. And boy, is it sunny, man! It was hot yesterday. It was like 38, 39. It was really unbelievably hot, and it was a fast day. It was this 25-hour religious fast, which most people, a lot of people do, even if they're not religious. It was the end of this Jewish mourning period, nearly the end. I mean, honestly, us Jews, if we can schlep out a little bit more mourning, a little bit more misery, we will do it. So it actually ends today at about 12:45, right? We're commemorating the destruction of the Jewish temple that stood in Jerusalem. Both of them actually, they both went down the same day, about 300-400 years, in between them. But the fire didn't stop burning until the middle of the day today. And at that point, the mourning period is over. I can eat meat again. I can have a bit of a trim. Oh, I am looking forward to that. But anyway, I am in a particularly splendid mood because the good Lord has shined upon me this morning, and He really has. I've got two articles to go over, which are, when you juxtapose them, freaking hilarious. It is comedy gold, which we are going to be enjoying today. But before we get into it, can I ask you to hit the like button? Baby, let me tell you, up front, you're going to like this one. Okay, this is a good one. Hit that like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you could consider that, that'd be really nice. I'm nearly at 3,080, and I tell you, YouTube is in a pitch black. They took 7 subscribers. 7? Or 9. They took a bunch of subscribers off me yesterday, and now I basically worked them back again. I'm telling you, for me to go get 10 subscribers, I gotta get like 50. And again, what? I don't know what I'm saying is so seditious. I mean, other than, entertainment's in a bad state. I guess they do find that seditious. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. If you are already subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed, because they will unsubscribe you. Totally. I didn't believe that, really, until I became a YouTuber. No, that will totally happen. You want to be super nice. Go check out my Indiegogo. So, we are in the trench run. We're finally finishing the campaign. I got myself booked on a bunch of shows coming starting this week. I got to be up at like 4 in the morning, a bunch of stuff, which is why I remembered I dragged my bloody feet. Because you just got to get up anytime in the day or night to go and promote your book. But we broke $8,000, which means everyone's getting a ton more stuff. So anyway, what is this campaign? We got biblical Bible stories, the atheists, creationists, rationalists, and rogues. It's a 220-page book. The Holy and the Dead. I wrote and drew this. It's very, very biblically accurate. So if you are a bit of a Bible thumper like myself, this one might be for you. But if you're not, this one might be for you. Well, it's not preachy. I'm not trying to get you to, honestly, I don't care what. I mean, I do care because I want you to be happy, but I don't really care about how you believe or live your life. This is just a cool story, right? Cool story, which I'm pretty happy with. I'm pretty proud of this one. It's I think those 90s Vertigo books, Sandman, Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, that guy. Listen, it's not as good as Animal Swamp Thing. That'll admit to. It blows away Jamie Delino's Hellblazer. Sandman, I'll leave it up to you. Buy it and you decide for yourself which is better. So, and if you're buying that, go check out this one, The Imperium, a love letter to telefantasy of the 1960s. James Bond, Emma Pill, Doctor Who, a monkey in a spacesuit, and the Black Slab from 2001, all together in one super group. A bit of Prisoner, bit of Thunderbirds. Oh man, I got the final pages in now. They look freaking awesome. I am so excited about it. And when you get both books, you get a whole bunch of extras. So this thing was going to be a pin-up. Now it's a freaking poster. A2 poster. I'm really glad one person bought a piece of artwork from the book, and I'm really glad it's that person, because he I know from my channel, and I know it's going to go to somebody who will really genuinely appreciate it. I'm like, I tell you, I'm really psyched about it. So Dominic Ratcho did the art on this. I just love his work, absolutely love his work. So go ahead, check it out. Link is in the video notes. And I don't think I can sell it any harder, right? That's my pitch right there. But it is ending, I think, in about a week. Oh, I can't freaking wait. Fine. Oh, what else I can't wait for is to look at this story. Oh my God, this story is so funny. So we're going to start on over here. Now we're going to look at two stories back to back, and we're going to go, well, that doesn't make sense. They seem to be contradicting each other. Yes, they do. So, let's start over here. I love her with all my heart. Doctor Who fans celebrate 4 years since Jodie Whittaker was announced as the 13th Doctor, and I want to be 100% clear. 100% clear. If you're somebody who likes this era of Doctor Who, mwah, wonderful. Honestly, I'm jealous. I am really genuinely jealous. I absolutely despise it and detest it. This has been my through line until I think of another one. But this, for me, this one really works. The biggest problem with this Doctor Who is they're not Doctor Who. You know, Doctor Who, I think, intrinsic to the character is them being a revolutionary genius, somebody who has thrown away their privileged background, their privileged society, on a point of principle, and rebels against authority, while at the same time being pretty much very authoritative. So this Doctor, the opposite. Absolute doofus, and don't tell me she's not. I will go through every freaking episode that I tortured myself watching so I could do reviews of them, and they're all terrible, right? They're all awful. And she's always like, I don't know what to do. What's this? It keeps on. She's always clueless, right? She has no authority whatsoever. I mean, the confrontation you had with Lenny Henry in Spyfall, the first episode of her second season. Now look, this is Lenny Henry, like an older Lenny Henry, even in his prime. Didn't seem that intimidating to me, right? Yeah, I think I could have taken him, right? I think I could have taken him. But now, certainly I could. He's old. What do you want out of me? I mean, like, so, and she had a conversation with him, and she was like, awful. You know what it was like? Okay, this is exactly what it's like. And if you've seen both things, you'll go, yes, absolutely. Ghostbusters 2, when it had Rick Moranis, who's apparently a wonderful human being who gave up being a movie star to raise his kids. I mean, like, what a freaking awesome person. I love that. Rick Moranis is a lawyer in Ghostbusters 2. And at one point, he did, before they start Ghostbusters again, when they're in the court scene and they let the ghosts out of the ghosts pop out the slime thing, but he's like being a terrible lawyer, right? For Dan Aykroyd or whatever it is, and then he gives us like angry look to the other lawyer, a female lawyer, who for some reason was wearing stockings and suspenders, as we find out earlier. And that just seemed impractical, but I'm glad that was her dressing choice of the day. But that's what her intimidating face was. So she has no authority, and she's a doofus. But worst of all, she's a crushing, horrible conformist. Like an absolute conformist. She's one of the blue check marks on Twitter who only the people who thinks the prescribed things. So I think that's why a lot of her fans are the worst people in the universe. Now I want to be clear again. If you're just a normal person who likes Jodie Whittaker Doctor, that's great. That is fantastic. I have met some. I've genuinely met some. So again, it's like I listen. I have a neighbor whose daughter, who's like 15-year-old daughter, saw Black Widow and freaking loved it, right? And I'm happy they liked it. But at the same time, they're going, oh, it should have been 5 years ago, should have been Clinton, whatever. But so I don't want to, rain on their enjoyment. And I really don't. My dislike of it shouldn't affect your love of it if you love it, right? And that's what love is, mate. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Like, it didn't matter that Trial of the Time Lord was, and let's be fair, a bit shit. It wasn't a bit shit. It was very shit. And if you like it, again, God bless you, right? But I remember watching it and going, well, this is shit. This is embarrassing. And I was a kid at the time, but I still love Doctor Who. That's what loving it is. So anyway, I love it with all my heart. Doctor Who fans celebrate 4 years since Jodie Whittaker announced the Thursday Doctor. I thought it was a good idea. Boy, was I wrong, right? Boy, was I wrong. So let's see what TARDIS Monkey has to say. TARDIS Monkey, exactly. Again, I think she's one of the normal ones, right? I think she's, like, relatively speaking, I think she's kind of normal, right? If it's a, I don't, if that's not her gender, that's the trouble, right? This is the trouble with dealing with people from that side of the world. There's so many questions, like, I don't know what their gender is. It doesn't say on a profile. Maybe if I put my mouse over, it'll tell me. No. Okay, whatever your pronouns are, I'm happy to use it, but it's a minefield. It's been 4 since Jodie Whittaker was announced as the Doctor. I don't know why I'm doing it in that voice, but I'm doing it that way. Jodie opened up new doors that have been new doors that had been envisioned by Sidney Newman and Verity Lambert years ago. Verity Lambert, I have heard of. Sidney Newman in the 80s, right? They got, I think John Nathan Turner got him to write somebody, maybe Barry Letts, somebody, Sid Sutton, somebody at BBC, got him to write a document of what he would do with Doctor Who, which was kind of flagging in the 80s. And one of the ideas is make the Doctor female. Yeah, it's been going around for a while. Verity Lambert, I'm not disputing you. I'm just saying I've never heard of her. She's a wonderful Doctor. Look, please see in the beginning of it, and I just don't really think she's a wonderful Doctor. I think she's the opposite of a Doctor and a brilliant hero. Well, again, I just don't understand that. Right? I genuinely don't understand that. How is somebody who's so not heroic a hero? Who is somebody, a crushing, boring conformist who lectures you a hero? I don't understand. I really don't understand. And I'm not being a dick about it. I just don't understand. Happy anniversary to a legend. Well, what she did to Doctor Who, along with Christian, was pretty legendary. Pretty legendary. I think we're going to Safe Space Who, which is another reason I can't stand it. Safe Space Who. You don't need a safe space, okay? Nobody needs a safe. You make yourself a safe space, right? You create your own space and you make it safe for yourself. It's called self-defense, self-reliance, and you don't need. Okay, I understand people are dicks out there. But you don't need a safe space. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 bloody feet, right? Which is probably why all these people are massive conformists. 4 years ago, Jodie Whittaker was announced as the Doctor, breaking Doctor Who history. You didn't need to put history there. Just breaking Doctor Who. Again, I was on board. Everybody said no to start with. I thought they were wrong. I was wrong. Okay, now you should make that your ringtone. I was wrong. She was supported by fans as well as her predecessors. Yes, like everybody else who's taken on the role. Yeah, 100%. Here's what Chris O'Leck and David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Big Cohen had to say. Who gives a shit? I mean, okay, listen, this was before she took over, I think, and when I was on board as well, most of the fandom was on board. It was after she took over that the problem started, right? It wasn't like after she took over. We have somebody else saying, 4 years since Jodie Whittaker was announced as Doctor. I love her with all my heart. 4 years ago, we held our breath as we watched the reveal of the 13th Doctor. I was like, ooh. And then I was like, oh, it'll be okay. Oh, God, I was wrong. Casting Jodie Whittaker made one of the greatest decisions they could have made. Why? Because she has a vagina? Because I don't think she was good casting, right? And listen, crazy though I may be, I still think a female Doctor could work. But the only reason it could work is if you identify the masculine traits within the character and have a woman play that, right? Look, the trans people, they all say, and I think this is the grain of truth where we can all agree on, is that we are all somewhat of a blend of masculinity and femininity, including the Doctor, right? But those masculine traits were really central to the character. So it's a shame. Casting was one of the greatest decisions they could have made if they wanted to destroy the character. Honestly, the reason she's so awful in the role is because she just doesn't really believe it, right? She thinks it's a silly kids program. It has opened up the door to a whole new range of exceptional talent, including the wonderful Joe Martin. No, actually, I think the opposites happen, right? I think the opposites happen, and that she's closed the door. I mean, you listen. They may still keep doing female Doctor Who to make a point, but the point won't be really taken because no one's bloody watching it anymore, right? And I know they don't like that. I know they rail against that. Nobody's watching anymore. They're not. They're not. It has no cultural significance. Having rewatched The Woman Fell to Earth, I rewatched it. That's one of the few episodes I've rewatched. That and Ghost Monument. I was still kind of hopeful. I think I will rewatch Arachnids in the UK as well. We just go like, really? Did that really happen? To celebrate 4 years since Jodie Whittaker announced as the Doctor. Fine. So, so the point of this article in Metro was to show how universally beloved Jodie Whittaker is as a Doctor, which, of course, is not the case. And again, if you like her, God bless you, right? You like her, continue and like her. Don't let me not liking her have any impact on you. So that being the case, if she's so universally beloved, as is the message of this ridiculous article, how did this one happen? Doctor Who, the 10 worst episodes according to IMDB. Who do you think features them? Now, weirdly enough, you have the picture of Jodie Whittaker and Peter Capaldi taking up equal space, right? So you would have thought half, maybe. Let's have a look. Doctor Who has managed to do what many shows haven't. It's kept itself fresh every time the Doctor regenerates and blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's just get to him. Sleep No More tries to be experimental. Listen, Sleep No More gets a bad rap. It was supposed to be a two-parter. They cut into a one-parter. I have to rewatch it. I remember it being a bit crap. Honestly, like the Sleep Monster. It is, whatever. But like it was held aloft by Capaldi's performance, as I recall. I'll give it a rewatch. You know what I watched last night, and I really enjoyed it. I had a bit of a revelation about it. Pandorica Opens. Freaking love that. I mean, honestly, I think that Matt Smith that year was probably for me pinnacle Doctor Who, right? And I know that a lot of people don't like the Matt Smith or the Moffat years. For me, it was like it seemed to be a script you could have filmed with Troughton in the 60s, and it still would have been, you wouldn't have to change it that much for the time. But I mean, obviously it was done with a bigger budget, But something interesting about that whole era is it was more like a good Doctor Who comic strip than a Doctor Who, in that you had disparate stories that built one on the other, much more defined than like the amorphous bad wolf or whatever it was, the season art. And so you had like all these characters introduced for a season coming back. They did that in like the better comics, with the Paul McGann run, with the Threshold, but they've done it a few times. Anyway, so back to Sleep No More, as I digress. Sleep No More tries to be experimental. In Sleep No More, the 12 Doctor and Clara Rossell find themselves in mysteriously silent Levalia space station with the help of a military rescue team led by Nagata. The Doctor and his companions try to discover what happened to the station personnel. The episode utilizes found footage style to tell a story. Yeah, it doesn't really come together. With one of the characters interrupting certain sections to explain to the audience what they're about to see. This gimmick, though interesting on paper, seems to do nothing but the overcomplicated plot. Move the overcomplicated plot along. Again, I think maybe because they scrunched a two-parter into one parter. Furthermore, many fans found the main enemy of Sleep No More to be ridiculous and childish, and not really. What about Kill the Moon? That's gotta be worse. Really, that's gotta be old in the forest of the night. God, they were bad stories. I'm sorry. Flatline, best story from that season, and that's a scientific fact. Which immediately hurt a whole episode a lot. Okay, fine. So that's Peter Capaldi. Remember, we have them taking up equal space up here. Okay, so we reckon we're going to come back to Peter Capaldi. Spoiler warning: we're not. Number 9. Can you hear me? Doesn't bring anything new to the series. Okay. Pie. When a strange force seems to be stalking the 13th Doctor and her companions by infiltrating their nightmares, like falling ratings. The quartet must find the source of the strange visions before it's too late. Yeah, God, there's so many levels that this story is awful. I think number 9 is being very putting this at number 9 is very charitable. I think this should be probably up there with number 1 or 2. Number 9, it was awful. Can You Hear Me starts with an interesting, if unoriginal premise that quickly derails into a predictable plot. The only good thing going for it was the guy playing the villain from Game of Thrones was good. The episode has 2 godly beings who feed off each other as the main villains, a concept which has already been explored, and it was revealed in an awful bit of animation, like a truly god-awful bit of animation. The concept has already been explored in past episodes with much better results. Many also criticize the episode's handling of mental health, calling Can You Hear Me, preaching and condemning the Doctor's social awkwardness as a bland attempt to appear woke. Was that what she was trying to do? That was the worst part in Doctor Who said, I feel a bit socially awkward, so I can't help you feel good about yourself because this is what I said about her character. I mean, really? And again, if you like it, God bless you. I don't understand, right? I don't understand how you make 2 and 2 equal 7, okay? Or equal blancmange or whatever. It was, for me, that was actually the lowest point in Doctor Who. Resolution. I mean, honestly, Resolution was way better than Can You Hear Me? But, okay. In Resolution, 2 archaeologists discover an alien creature that poses a threat to the 13th Doctor and a group of companions. Large group. By the end of it, they had about 30 people in the TARDIS, with the Doctor going, I don't know what to do. And then she opened the doors. I think that's what... I think that was her contribution, right? She opened the doors while a bunch of other people threw a Dalek out the TARDIS with a microwave or something. Who gives a crap? Actually, something else that is forgotten about this episode is you see how Graham's the hero rather than the Doctor is the hero of the story. We have Ryan's estranged father, who's a bit of a dick, show up, right? So the Doctor makes a big scene about stomping up saying, I don't like you because you're a naughty boy, and just being very, very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Diminishing to him, like putting him down. Where Graham, his first reaction is to slam the door in the face, but then he cares about Ryan more than he cares about himself, right? He sees how important it is for Ryan to have a father and have a relationship with his father, and so he puts his personal feelings to the side, and he ends up being enriched for it. Something the Doctor should really be teaching us. It is just awful. It really was just awful. So let's see what they go over here. Two find a group of companions. Things take a turn for the worse when the episode starts. When it's revealed that it's revealed to be the insides of a Dalek. Despite reintroducing Daleks along there after a long absence, the 2019 New Year special failed once again to captivate Whovians due to poor writing. I think it's fair. Resolution rush through an important plot point, including one of the Doctor's companions, Ryan, his dad. Ruining what appeared to be a longer arc in previous seasons. Fans criticise the new Daleks for not being scary enough, and the dialogue for being rough and lackluster. Yeah, that's fair. The Witchfinders, I think one of the strongest episodes of season 11, right? I think Kablam was probably better than Witchfinder. Ghost Monument. Ghost Monument's probably the best. So, but whoa, no. Let's put this one down there. So this is by Joe Wilkinson, who was on some of the DVDs, the Blu-rays, I should say, in the behind the sofa thing. Which I like that feature. Basically, you have like a clip show of people watching the episode of Doctor Who on the Blu-ray, and you have different groups. So yeah, you have Tom Baker watching with Philip Hinchcliffe, but then also you got Joey Wilkinson with what's his name? The guy who does all the trailers. Pete McTeague, I think, commenting on it, and I found her insight interesting, and a complete lack of knowledge of Doctor Who very, very apparent, So it's not really unsurprising that this Witchfinders didn't do so. Plus, it had that really weird turn-in by Alan Cummings being super gay, like the super gay King James. Did he mean to play him super? I don't understand what was going on there, okay? Upon arriving in the 17th century Lancashire, the 13th Doctor and her 3 companions, her fam, end up in the middle of an exhaustive witch hunt when they attempt to help. The Doctor finds herself up against King James I, who accuses her of being a witch herself. Well, a witch, can we burn her? That'll be okay. Being burnt at the stake is a way to kill a Time Lord, because they'll just regenerate and the fire will keep going, right? Just let you know, mate. Just giving you an insight. Witchfinder received praise from critics and scorn from fans, mirroring the general response to the 11th season of the show as a whole. Yeah, they praised it because Jodie Whittaker has a vagina, right? Basically, they should just be like, "Oh, Jodie Whittaker's vagina was fantastic. We need more Whittaker vagina." And honestly, speaking as a red-blooded male, we need less Whittaker vagina. That's just in the world in general. Whittaker's acting and quality of writing are 2 of the episode's weakest points. Okay, which unfortunately make the Witchfinders unwatchable for many. British actor Alan Cummings' cameo as King James I also had a mixed reception, with some applauding his take on the historical figure. Like, he was just played it foppishly, and it might be accurate, but I guess they're trying to say that the evil male patriarchy has always been bad. Whatever. Honestly, whatever bullcrap they're gonna. I don't know. Number 6. By the way, you will notice so far we've done all Jodie and one Peter Capaldi. Let's go back for a second. No, still 50-50 at the top. Let's see what goes on down there. You know how this is going to come out. The writing, okay, what made it unwatchable? The Battle of Ranskor of Kolos. Oh God, what are the awful Chibnall sci-fi names. Isn't Doctor Who's best season finale, dude? It's no, it's not. I think we can agree on that one. After receiving several distress calls from the 13th Doctor, Ryman Graham and Ray Asmin arrive on the planet Ranskor of Kolos, where an alien is planning his revenge on Earth. The season finale of the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos did not meet expectations, though. The stakes appear high, with a powerful alien threatening Earth. The episode continues to suffer from the entire season's rough writing. Many have pointed out it feels like another filler episode, as the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos doesn't include any classic Doctor Who villain, as the entire rest of that season didn't. Nor does it deliver any character development for the Doctor. No, because they don't write her as a character, right? But still, I felt that that Can You Hear Me is worse than all of these. I don't know how this worked out this way. And then Timeless Children. This should certainly be number 1, shouldn't it? But who knows? The Timeless Children leaves a negative impact on 60 years of Whovian lore. That's fair. That's fair. As a master now commanding an army of Cybermen, and man, I love those freaking Cybermen. Listen, I even like the Cyber Lords, but I love this design of Cybermen. I think it's the greatest, and I'm happy to give praise wherever I can give praise. The greatest rendition of Cybermen. It's just got for where I am right now. Right, it's got that great invasion or revenge of the Cyberman kind of feel to it, that clunkiness, that heaviness. It's modern. It just reeks Cybermen. It's the best design. As a master now commanding an army of Cybermen continues his quest to take over the universe, the 13th Doctor faces the shocking revelation of her origin. Yeah, again, for me, this doesn't bother me because it decanonized itself by this point. I'm like, forget it. This isn't Doctor Who. The Timeless Children reinvents Doctor Who with little success. That's the point. The episode attempts to put the Doctor as a significant figure within Gallifrey's history, tainting what made the character so lovable and trapping them in an under a controversial chosen one trope. They kind of did that a little bit with Capaldi, but nowhere near. Having an origin demystifies the Doctor and negatively impacts the simple premise of a Time Lord, the TARDIS, and the whole universe to explore. As a clever IMDb user says, the Timeless Children took 60 minutes to kill 60 years of history. Honestly, moving forward, what if they had any sense, which they don't, they should have done a Joe Martin season. Just have delight and don't reference any of this, right? Just have delightful adventures in the time. Be very Doctor Who. Get Paul Cornell in to write it. You know, he's always busy. What's the word? Sucking on Chris Chibnall's dick. You know? To no avail. Still didn't get a bloody episode, did he? Get him in to write one. Do 6 standalone episodes, and then bring Jodie in for the last episode. Explain everything. Put it all together. Boom! You're done. You can claim victory. But no, because you're morons. Praxis is a PSA rather than an episode. The other one of the season. So this one I think is in a fair place. Praxis was pretty darn bad. In Praxis, the 13th Doctor and her companions investigate a strange bacteria that seems to be infecting the population of various countries on the Earth, causing them to sprout all over causing scales to sprout all over the inhabitants' bodies before they explode. Yeah, this would have been so much better if it was some kind of like sea devil. It was supposed to be a sea devil story, wasn't it? But look at the expression on her face. I don't know what's going on. I'm all confused. I have no authority. Quick, I better conform to the social norms. Before they explode. That was in between making Warren. Was it Warren Brown or whatever? The guy from Luther, who's also in the Big Finish unit series. Warren. I can't remember the bloody name. Making him gay. He's so not gay. I'm sorry. There is no gaydar coming off him. Maybe he's gay. When I have egg all over my face now, if they turn out, really, I'm gay. I got zero gaydar from it. Seriously, like, let's squeeze that in there, which kind of seems similar to being gay as well. But whatever you do in the comfort of your own bedroom, it's up to you, baby. I like many great standalone episodes benefited from being unrelated to the season's main arc. Praxis is merely another filler episode. Once again, the writing is most responsible for its poor rating and the bad acting. I mean, that was the one where they tried to hide Jodie Whittaker running like a duck by doing shaky cam. Right, they kind of worked out after they saw Resolution, and they said she really can't run down a corridor, right? And honestly, Jodie, it's called preparation. Can't you just run up and down a bloody corridor? Can't you get a stuntman to teach you how to run? It's not like you run like a girl. You run like a duck, baby. And that's just what Doctor Who shouldn't do. Because Doctor Who's supposed to be, authoritative. Anyway, nearly another video once, writing is responsible, with many fans complaining and patronising educational tone dull characters rather than the Doctor Who ever Praxis is like a PSA about the dangers of plastic pollution and bad writing. This one, again, it was garbage, but it should be way up. Like, I don't understand why this is so bad. Maybe this is the one where the story where people said, I gave up all hope at this era of Doctor Who's going to be watchable. This was actually where I gave up. Right, I watched first episode. I'm like, you can't really tell. Second episode, she seemed kind of Doctor Who-y, and I kind of liked it. I wanted to convince myself. I don't think I could watch it again, but she kind of convinced herself. I convinced myself that it was kind of Doctor Who-y. Third episode was Rosa, where they're like, oh, look at me, I'm so virtuous. But at least it was at the early days of this cultural vandalism, and I didn't really see it being that virtue signaling, but trying to tell a story. In hindsight, I see it being very virtue signaling now, right? Very, 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 very. But I gave it a pass, and then I even gave Arachnid in the UK a pass. I'm like, it really can have a crap episode now and again. But then Conundrum came in. I was like, this is over. No way are they putting this back together again. And I bet a lot of other people felt that way, and that's why I got a low score on IMDb. At least has one of the least interesting enemies in the show. Yeah, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, a space bunny. That wasn't very good. Wounded, the 13th Doctor and the rest of the team of Team TARDIS end up in the Sugunga hospital, only to find a dangerous creature has somehow snuck in and is roaming her ship unsupervised. The Sugunga conundrum demonstrates how the quality of the show's dialogue really has changed since Stephen Moffat days. There's this is the bit where the episode where she has this big speech about how much she loves science, like until we're it's all this talking about the space drive, and she was so unconvincing. They're so unbelievably unconvincing. They're going to do how the quality has changed since Moffat's days. Well, about 8 episodes earlier. 6 episodes earlier. The lack of engagement only serving only to provide the audience with large chunks of exposition and not capturing the audience attention like it had before. The episode also had one of the least threatening episodes, the Pting, a tiny space alien creature that was obviously created to be cute rather than scary. Yeah. Because again, this is a show right now for little girls. And when I say little girls, I mean like 5-year-old girls, which you can tell by the marketing is the only people buying this garbage. Arachnids in the UK. Well, this deserves a low place, but not quite this low. And it is. This was the worst episode of Doctor Who when it was aired, right? And then everything else went, hold my beer. Arachnids in the UK. Team TARDIS has just returned to Sheffield when they notice something strange is affecting the spider of the city. Now faced with gigantic arachnids, the Doctor and the Commanders must find out what caused this massive issue. But the arachnids, they weren't bad guys, were they? They were just spiders dying under their own weight horribly. When the Doctor didn't help save at all. Well, the episode is evidently a parody to B-movies? I don't think so. Ends up becoming one rather poking fun at them. The CGI is passable, certainly better than in early episodes of Modern Who, but the political comedy is a little too on the nose to be funny or clever. I have to tell you, I think one of the best characters that have come out this era is, what's his name? The Trumpolite, the Mr. Big from Sex and the City. He actually has a bit of charisma. I liked him in... Revolution of the Dalek. I can't not say it that way. It's the way Jodie Whittaker announced it, and I just can't not say it that way. The Revolution of the Dalek. Yeah, that's good there, Jodie. She's just so awful in this role. I mean, she is. But political rummy is a little too on the nose to be funny or clever. The biggest issue with the episode, however, is the Doctor's questionable decision in dealing with the spiders themselves. The Doctor asks other characters not to shoot the arachnids, only to let them suffocate and suffer instead. Yeah, because this Doctor's a moron! Oh, she's a freaking moron. The preachy method of Orphan 55 was unappreciated. Well, again, I will put this slightly higher. I'll put this... Okay, with my personal list, I'm having Can You Hear Me? The worst episode. Absolute worst episode. Then Timeless Children. Then Orphan 55. That's basically how it... And they are fighting because they are for the top spot because they are all so unbelievably awful. Hoping to get... By the way, I want to remind you, we started this video saying... we have this article here saying, Jodie Whittaker's the bestest ever! Oh, we all love her! We all love her so much! Apart from people who have actually seen it, right? For them. Hoping to finally get a vacation, the 13th Doctor and the companions travel to the resort of Orphan 55, a strange planet with a terrifying secret and even more horrifying past. Oh, God, it's so preaching terrible. Orphan 55 is the worst rated episode of the entire show, being panned by both critics and fans alike. Well, this is one where they had Ryan suck his thumb. Yeah, exactly. While not being written by season 11 and 12 showrunner, Orphan 55 is often used to represent what has been working in the new era. What hasn't been working in the new era: preachy writing, lacking dialogue and characters. Yeah, you get it all here in Doctor Who. So there you go. She's the bestest ever, except that she's the worst ever. Because once again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think they're just being charitable. 10. I bet I can find more. I bet there's more ones at 5.8. That will tie with it. I have to check it out. But not quite the 50-50 split. It's like 9-1, baby, 9-1. Why? Because she's awful. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, you are the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.